Bennett, what are you doing?
Derek Smith wanted to rush up and beat up Kevin, but he retreated when he saw Kevin Bennett's eyes. However, now that his wife had been beaten up, he had no choice but to help her. After stuttering for a long time, he finally yelled,
Kevin Bennett, you're useless trash. You can hit a woman? Are you even a man?
I don't hit women. But is Taylor a woman? Kevin Bennett sneered. I've wanted to tear off her stinky mouth for a long time. It's just a warning this time. If there's a next time, it won't be so simple. And you, if you are unconvinced, come and find me at any time. However, if I find out that you guys are secretly taking revenge on Claire, I don't mind sending you to hell. Derek Smith's expression changed. He didn't know why, but he felt a terrifying aura coming from Kevin Bennett. Derek even smelled danger, and he was a little scared. He couldn't help but suspect, was this person still the useless trash Kevin Bennett from before? After Kevin Bennett said this, he walked over to Claire Wright and smiled. Claire, let's go home. Yes. Claire Wright nodded obediently. She was also surprised by Kevin Bennett's performance today. She even felt that Kevin Bennett had become a completely different person when he said those words just now. He could not understand. Fighting someone and threatening them was not something Kevin Bennett could do in the past. However, what made her secretly happy was that everything Kevin Bennett did was for her. They had just taken a few steps when an ear-piercing boom came from afar. A few seconds later, a black car appeared in front of them. The deep sound waves caused people's eardrums to vibrate. The technological feeling of the streamlined car was dazzling in the sunlight. The black super run gave a soul-stirring aura like an emperor. In just an instant, everyone's line of sight was attracted by the black bolt of lightning. In front of this black lightning, everything seemed to lose its luster. Bugatti La Voiture Noire! One of the most expensive cars in the world. Those who understood cars cried out in alarm and gasped for breath. However, even more people were staring unblinkingly at the black lightning. They wanted to know why such a car would appear in the Wright family company. Taylor Wright, who was still yelling, immediately stopped crying. Her face was nervous because the swanky black car was heading in their direction. It stopped! It stopped! Taylor Wright's breathing became more rapid. Derek Smith also swallowed his saliva. The door opened, and a man in a flowery shirt got out and walked toward them. Derek Smith took a deep breath and started to think rapidly, recalling if he had seen this man before. Sir. Derek Smith smiled and prepared to say hello to the man in the flowery shirt. But right after, the smile on his face froze. The man in the flowery shirt didn't even look at him as he walked behind him. Derek Smith immediately turned around and saw a scene he would never forget. The man in the flowery shirt bowed to Kevin Bennett, who came down from the Bugatti. Derek Smith rubbed his eyes and felt that he must have seen wrong.
Mr. Kevin, you forgot to open your car.
Bill was very respectful and said this with a great deal of skill. He didn't directly say that the car was given to him by Martin Henderson, but that Kevin forgot to drive away. This meant that the car belonged to Kevin Bennett, and he had no reason to reject it. Kevin was speechless. How could he forget about his car? If he had forgotten his car, it was his electric scooter, not the supercar in front of him. Martin Henderson was good at gifting things, and Kevin Bennett had no reason to refuse. After all, no one would hurt a smiling person. Sorry, I was in a hurry to leave? Thank you for bringing my car. Kevin Bennett took the key seriously.
Mr. Kevin is too polite.
Hill smiled and said. Derek Smith and Taylor Wright were dumbstruck when Kevin Bennett received the key. All the Wright family employees in the courtyard had their mouths wide open, as if 2 eggs could be stuffed inside. This godly vehicle was Kevin Bennett's? Claire Wright's face was also filled with astonishment. She knew Kevin Bennett the best. She would never believe that Kevin Bennett was the owner of this car. Come on, Claire. Let's go home. Seeing that Claire Wright was still in a daze, Kevin Bennett waved his hand and said. Claire Wright's face reddened before she finally reacted. Kevin Bennett opened the car door for Claire Wright, who sat obediently in the front passenger seat. Afterwards, Kevin Bennett looked at Derek Smith and Taylor Wright with a smile that was not a smile and sat in the driver's seat. Amidst the rumbling sound waves, the black lightning left.
Impossible.
That trash must have rented this car. Taylor Wright didn't care about the humiliation she had just received and started cursing again. No matter what, she didn't believe that the car belonged to Kevin Bennett.
Idiot, that car was not a rental.
Derek Smith gritted his teeth and said. His eyes were filled with fear. He was sure about the car. He was an employee of Martin Henderson's company. 3 days ago, he saw Martin Henderson drive this car. According to the company's management, Martin Henderson bought this car recently, worth $20 million. There are only limited edition overruns in the USA. Martin Henderson was going to give this car to a big leader in the nation as a birthday present. But today, this car was in the hands of Kevin Bennett. Derek didn't know why, but he was sure that Kevin didn't rent this car because it was impossible.
Hubby, what do you mean?
Taylor Wright was stunned. It wasn't a rental? Could it be Kevin Bennett bought the car?
What I mean is that you should avoid provoking Claire and Kevin in the future. I advise you to forget about getting your revenge.
Derek Smith said coldly. After speaking, he sat in the driver's seat without caring about Taylor Wright. Taylor Wright stomped her feet in anger and followed him. Claire Wright glanced at Kevin Bennett in the car and said, "Don't do that anymore." "What is it?" Kevin Bennett was stunned for a moment before he replied. "Rent a car." Claire Wright glared at Kevin Bennett snappily and said, "I know you don't want to embarrass me, but you don't need to rent a car. Renting one like this would probably cost a lot of money." Kevin Bennett had a weird expression on his face. He was thinking about how to explain the car to Claire Wright, but it turned out that Claire Wright had found a good reason for herself. "I didn't spend too much money. Don't worry. I won't do that anymore," Kevin Bennett said, without changing his expression. "That's good." Claire Wright turned her head, her expression as serious as before. However, the corners of her lips lifted into an imperceptible smile. Bob Pierce was very efficient. In less than half a day, he had already finalized the details of his cooperation with Martin Henderson. Bennett family investment of $35 billion. Martin Henderson investment of $15 billion. The two sides established a tourism development company. The company was named Lux Travel. Lux Travel Corporation would construct a large vacation area in Beverly Hills and completely develop the Beverly Hills scenic area. This news quickly spread through Los Angeles County, detonating all the streets and alleys.
Hey all, Kevin here. Can't wait for you to watch my story, The Billionaire Bastard. Season 1 is now streaming on the Pocket FM Universe YouTube channel. To watch the next episode, tap here, and to watch the full season, click on the playlist.